Thank you so much. So we are learning the dialects of Confucius as the base of Confucianism, and without a proper instructions or a proper explanations, there's a lot of misleading that we can accuse to a lot of wording because this is a lot of wording is said by Confucius or his students. So this is one of the example is said by his students. His name called Zheng Zi. This is the student's name. Sometimes when you see this word in the last, let's say in the two wording, and you see it in the Confucianism and end with Zhi, meaning it is recorded by his student. So meaning is Confucius taught him and he taught his students. At the end, it is his student recording this one. But if it is start at the beginning, let's say for instance, Confucius also has a student named with 子贡. Okay, this is the same character, but if you put it at the first one, it's not meaning it doesn't mean he is a teacher. It's just his name with that character. But of course, let's say 孔子, there is a 子, meaning he's a teacher. 曾子 is a teacher. So 有子 is a teacher. Another student called 有子. This is recorded by his student. So Confucius taught him and he taught someone else, and this one recorded it. So he has to call his teacher with, you can't call it by his full name. You should call it by teacher, let's say teacher Tang, teacher Lin, that kind of usage. But here, this is his name, the end of his name. So this is some explanations. And so Zheng Zi said something. Okay. Coming back is, ooh. This is something Zheng Zi said. When you are the capable one, 能 meaning capable, you can do something. This is capable. The capable ask, this is ask to those who are not capable. The one has more, ask the one has fewer. This is less or fewer. So the one is capable, ask the one is not capable. The one has more, ask the one has less. If you have it, act like you don't. And if it is solid, pretend it is not solid. That I know something very solid, but pretend you're not. Be humble of it. So we stop here. I would suggest we stop here first. Not going into the second paragraph. But here, if we stop here and without proper teaching of Confucianism, when we try to accuse something, it's very easy because it is fake. Because you are capable, but you're asking those who are not capable. You know it already, but you still ask him. Like, I know a lot about semiconductors, and I pick someone is not understanding and ask, hey, what is semiconductors? Can you explain to me what is that? And then it somehow is not the spirit of this sentence. This is not what it's suggesting. So you guys can make some guess. What is this trying to say? With the capable, ask who are not capable. When you have more, ask the one has less.
他在嘲笑。
嘲笑 is meaning mocking it.
Yeah.
All right.
We're on page 10, by the way. Page 10.
That's great. Thank you. Yes, please.
But it gives the not capable a chance to learn.
So
Gives the not capable a
Yeah.
chance to learn.
That's great. That's great. Exactly the meaning of another also the dialects of Confucius that is can explain on this one. This is very good one. Is there any more guess on that?
表现谦虚吗？
对，他刚刚就说就让别人有机会学习嘛。Meaning the first one said that let the others also are capable to learn or being humble. But in this case, being humble doesn't feel like a little bit fake because being humble, then you have to know a lot by to ask those who don't understand. This kind of humble, is it really the thing that Confucius wants us to do? Is this really definition of humble? Because, please.
Even if I know something very well,
Yeah.
I don't know it 100%. I
Yeah.
don't know it perfectly.
Yeah.
So someone that has less knowledge than me may
Yeah.
have less knowledge but slightly different knowledge.
Yeah.
So I may still be able to learn something from them.
Yes.
So I should ask them for their input and their
Yes.
opinion.
Yes.
They may provide you or different information
Yeah.
about the same subject I'm familiar with.
Yes.
So I'm not asking in order to put them down or to mock them or to test them or
Yeah.
measure them.
Yeah.
But I may have something to learn from them still.
Yes.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is great. There is the more complete explanation about it. It is exactly what Venerable you mentioned. Sometimes we know 9 things about a subject. Let's say semiconductor. I know 9 things of it, but someone might know a little bit of something, some others, which I don't know. I completely don't understand. Probably because of his family. Probably because of his the way he grew up, or a lot of things we don't know. So we can't just judge it by I know more about semiconductor than you. But probably he know how to sell it. Probably he know the chemical background more, or something just I don't know. Because we also said we don't know what we don't know. So don't fill in the shoes and say, hey, I know more than you. But start it with thinking there might be something I don't know and try to ask. And forget about those I know a lot. Forget about the concept that I know a lot already, but try to learn more. Because if you feel like I know more, meaning just like a bottle, it is full, then nothing can get into it. You can only fill into something when it is not full. It is somehow a little bit empty or completely empty. The more empty it is, the more you can fill. Or the higher possibilities that you can fill another bottle of water. So this is the first one. And similar spirit is the more has more, the one has more, ask the one has less. Probably it is in a lot of things, in the majority, I know I have more, but there is something he has more than me. This is the possibilities. So when he has more, you can also ask the one has less. Same also applied as when you have it, act like you don't, because we tend to be sharing with the others that, hey, I know a lot, but sometimes act like you don't. This is a spirit that we can refer in to rich men. Rich men will not show you, hey, do you know what? In my wallet, I have 2 million. They won't do it. They will keep it quiet. They will keep it low profile and just hide the money. Because the more you have, the more you show, the higher the possibility that you might lose it. So, but in your capability point of view, if you have more, act like you don't, then you might be able to acquire more and also protect yourself. If you keep showing off, there might be someone doesn't feel well and might harm you in some possibilities ways. So when we learned Confucianism, we said in Confucius, when he was alive back at the time, he traveled a lot of countries, just try to promote his philosophies to a lot of countries. Although a lot of countries didn't completely reject it, they want to give him the authority or give him certain positions, give him a lot of money, but he still rejected anyhow because the king or the emperor didn't give him completely the authority of promoting his philosophies. Then by staying still in the positions, it is only working for someone who is not toward the good way, then you are just contributing on the bad way. So in this case, there's a lot of people that might be able to harm Confucius. But at the end, after a lot of 13 years of traveling to all the countries, he can still return back to his country with all his students, no one less. That everyone stays, no one was just killed because of promoting his philosophies. He can still come back in full. So there is a lot of protection, a lot of prevention should be made before or in advance that we don't show off, don't keep just showing off. So this is the first. Solid, act like it is not solid. This is a lot of first. The second part is said when someone infringe me, this is the infringe. Let's say someone infringe me, but I don't pay it back. This is also, if you know the characters in Chinese, it can call 校, like 学校, if you know. So a school. But in this one, it pronounced 教. Similar pronunciations. This is why Chinese character is so hard to understand. And this is the ancient Chinese character. So we call it 教, meaning to repay it or correct it, recorrect it. just act like somehow similar to you not caring about it. And the final sentence is, once in the past, a very good friend of mine tried to do it. Meaning, he mentioned about a lot of good things, a lot of philosophies that they all learned from Confucius. And he said, once in the past, this is in the past, my friend, this is in all Chinese languages, this is called me, myself, I or me, friend, tried to do it, try to do these things. So in this case, this is also sharing how a society would be important, because Zhengzi, this guy, once mentioned he if someone learn these things by just once or 1 unit, I have to learn it by 100 units, meaning I need to spend more time or effort to learn it. If they have to spend 10 units, then I have to spend 1,000. He was, even Confucius said he's not the smartest kid. But at the end, he was one of the successor of Confucius, meaning in this society under the teaching of Confucius, the students can be successor one day. But just because you have a good society, a good teachings method, very good teachers, a lot of conditions are gathered, then the not the smartest kid can be the successor of Confucius in one day. And not only by learning from the teachers, but also you have some friend in the society that you can learn from. You can see someone really good and they are practicing it, then you can learn from your friends. I think this also applied to my personal experience in my work life. When I start joining a company, my manager tried to teach me a lot of things verbally. He couldn't step down and work with me on a lot of things because he also have a lot within his scope. But a lot of details I was learning from my we call it how do you call it? Translate in English. But the older friend, the one is the more senior one, the senior.
Senpai.
Senpai is the Japanese, but it's the senior one. You learn it from the senior one because they are still in the same positions. You can observe how they do things, how they would react on their daily life, on a lot of minor details. Because teacher is not with you every second, but your senior company can be with you 8 hours, every second, every minute in your work time. Then a lot of things you can observe, you can learn. So this is also good in the society because when we learn under the teachings, teachers might teach you 2 hours, keep on speaking, a lot of philosophies. You have to understand it yourself, but by practicing, you can also learn it from your senior members in the society. That this is saying he also learned it from his friends. But his friends, who is it? It doesn't mention the name in this sentence, but it is a student called Yan Hui. You might learn it saw a lot in the Confucian dialects. This is the most approved students within Confucius society. Everyone, he said, every one of my students, I don't suggest them to go to work for any governors or emperors, but this is the one he said he can do it. He's capable even to manage a country according to Confucius. He said this is approved for teachings or for managing a country, a complete the mainland China completely. He is capable to do so. But he died very young, and he was poor the entire life. He could have a field of land. He can make agriculture, but he chose not to, and he's poor. But on the other side, comparison is another student called Scope. We usually ask someone, this is the most approved students in the class. He's the best performing, and this one is the richest one. He donates. He keep helping, contributing to society with all the monies. He know how to earn a lot of money. Even there is a phrase in Chinese saying he is really good at it. We usually ask the students, do you want to be him or him? 99% said this one. And the 1% saying this one is not truly or honestly really thinking he want to be it. Because he's really poor. And in the society, there are different kind of senior members. There are the one is really good at things or really good at the philosophies or the understanding, really are capable to be the successors. But he died very young, I think 40 few years old. He died. In the end, on the other side is someone is also really good, but he's also very rich. He is capable to do a lot of things. Even back in the time, there's a lot of governors said, hey, you are better than your teacher, than the Confucius. You are better than him because you are contributing on the diplomatic way of helping the countries. But they couldn't see that Confucius is also doing it. But this is somehow far from what we are trying to teach in this sentence, but more as a background information here. Is there any questions until right now? Or anything that say, hey, no, I don't think so. I don't think we really should do it. Or anything anyone would like to discuss, I would be very happy to follow on it.
Stupid. What that one was poor and that one was rich?
Yes.
Like study wise? Or
This sorry, okay.
you
From study wise, this is of course the approved one. This is number one. We call it, let's say, the most approved students. But the second approved student, there is no mentioning who is the second one. But he is also very good at performing. Confucius also said he is capable to be in the main seat of a big ceremony. He's capable to do so. So this is also important. But just that this is the friend who is trying to do all these, but at the end, what kind of students who someone might want to be? Because we might want to be as good as what Confucius taught one day, but somehow we still want to be rich. But instead of, there's a model of doing it. Someone is already doing certain things that Confucius taught in the past. And we said, yes, we want to do it. This is why we're reading it. This is why we study about it. But at the end, we still want to be the one that's richer. This is somehow quite interesting. I try to convince myself a lot of times that being dishonest is better, but I still, based on my personal life, personal decisions, I still think I'm more leading to that way. So this is what Confucius taught, but he also said, hey, this is my friend doing so. We want to learn it. Of course we want to learn it. This is why we are sitting here, or this is why we sit complete day in the Saturday for learning Confucianism. But at the end, what I'm doing is more close to this one. Trying to get more money, trying to do it better. Yeah. So this is why I'm sharing about more background information about it. Welcome.
可以问一下，
可以
这第一句
你用英文问吧，你可以
啊，
可以吗？可以的话，不行你就用中文，我再帮你翻。
行，我不能，我不知道怎么讲，可以他妈是问，因为英文是 ask 嘛，
对。
可是中文的话，问有可能是问候，而不是提问题。问有可能是问候。
Okay. So more meaning is, hey, this is a word of ask, but this might also be the one is asking about your health or asking about your how are you doing, that kind of ask, instead of asking about things. So 你的意思说，为什么这个问可以解成
提问题请教啊，或者是说变问候的话，变成有钱人去关心没钱的人，然后有能力的人去关心没有能力的人，就变。如果是改成问候的话，这个问题就变成是友善关注的意思。
All right.
然后如果是解成学问他的请教的问题的话，就变成是谦虚求教的意思。
Okay. So he's asking, this is ask, or we're asking about someone's health is also ask. So it's more in the Chinese context. He's asking, can this be explained as the richer one is asking for the health or how the beings of the one is not as rich as them? Can we explain it that way? What I think is not okay, because the reason is in the old Chinese characters, this is not saying about asking for someone's health. This is first. And the second is because it's with capable as those are not capable. So it is not saying that because this word is with the capable. So it's not saying that how do I explain it in English? It's more hard in that way.
It's just
谢谢。
when was a college student, my teacher say, 论语的很多开头都是什么子贡，什么什么问人，什么问政，那 ask politics, ask
Yeah, usually it's students. Usually it start with student ask about politics to Confucius, and then Confucius answers.
Yeah.
Usually some students ask something.
now and my teacher say, this one is not only ask, is how to do.
Okay.
子贡问政是说怎么为政。
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 谢谢. So it is in the past. Usually it start with a student ask politics, and then Confucius taught. So Waiting was just saying that this ask is not just ask what is that, is how to do it. When they said, hey, what ask about politics is about how to do politics instead of how is politics. Yeah, that kind of explanation.
I don't know Chinese grammar, but based on what we have translated, the subject is the capable person asking a not capable person, rather than a capable person just asking any random question or general kind of information.
Right.
Like it would still be on the same subject of
Yes.
capability, rather than like me being a capable person asking like some random thing about how to do some totally different subject. You know?
Yeah. No, Yonghao was saying that probably there might be an explanation that is the richer one asking about the health, or let's say the health meaning greetings to those, like I'm the rich one, you are the poor one. I greet you, hey, how are you? I wish you were doing fine.
Honesty, right?
Yeah, but this is not saying that. This is completely not. It's the richer one to learn from the one is not that rich, or I have more, you have less. I ask you how to do things. Yeah. So Wei Dian helped me on that as saying that this one is not just ask, it's how to do things. Yeah. So this is the capable ask those are not capable how to do things. This kind of ask instead of just ask greetings.
很难。
有说服你吗？有好，看起来没有。
我是觉得好难哦，我都每次都要猜到底是哪一个。
因为他问应该都不会是问候的那个问，
是啊，
对，因为他没有必要在这里讲问候，这是第一个嘛。因为如果把它解成问候，会很奇怪。
我是想说，这个以多问一寡，能问不能，有点像是说，有钱人要去关心穷人。如果有我自己第一个想法，
可是你看哦，他是多问于寡，那好了，如果是有钱人关心穷人，那其他面向呢？
那就是以能问于不能啊。我有很有能力的人去关心我能力差的同学，或者能力比我差的人。
可是你在《论语》里面应该找不到任何一个问是用关心的这个解法，应该没有。
好，没问题。
对。
We talk about this. Be full of wisdom, yet remain modest, and when wronged, do not seek revenge. And why revenge is just coming up into this whole topic.
Sorry, you mean
You're talking
you
about
don't seek
the
revenge?
kind of infractions or infringement, I think
Right.
it's translated as, and then
Okay.
not to seek to repay it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, how that connects to the other.
When I learned it, so there's 3 sections. The first is this one is learning from Confucius. So here is the first part. The second part is here is let me see my notes about yourself, how to treat yourself. This is about what Confucius taught, and I learned from it. And this is about how to maintain about myself, and this is about how I react with the others. So more separated in 3 parts. But you're saying why we shouldn't seek for revenge?
No, why is this connected to this other part? Like if this is about just kind of understanding that the limits of your knowledge and your
Right.
ability, right,
Right.
are not at a maximum. I'm
Yeah.
always like having some space for growth.
Right.
Then I should ask and be open.
Mhm.
And then suddenly it's like, but if people around you don't seek revenge,
Yeah.
I mean that's good general advice.
Yeah.
But why is it connected specifically to asking people for advice and questions? Like, is there an assumption that if you ask people for advice and questions, they would wrong you?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any particular reason this is just inserted here? So
I think what I think is it's like 3 steps. If I put it 1, 2, and 3, it's more like I learn from teachers. I put it into myself and I use it to react with the world. So it's 1, 2, 3. So with you capable, this is what Confucius taught. And when I use it to myself, as when I have it, I act like I don't. Even I have it solidly, I don't have it very solid. And then if I was in French, I don't seek for refrench. So it's more likely I learn it, I make it into myself, and I use it to react to the world. When I use it, there might be someone is seeking infringing me.
jealousy or something.
Yes, but don't seek for revenge, because what I think is, because if you seek for revenge, you are not you're not applying the 2 sentences before, because if you're really being humble, you won't seek for revenge. If someone just being jealous of you and always thinking I can do it better on my way instead of hey, I need to take revenge on you, or repaying what you did to me in the past.
Yeah.
But keep on observing or absorb more knowledge about it and be humble. Yeah. Okay, if you don't have questions, I'll ask questions. Then, but why if I being revenge, I still can't take revenge or repay? Would it be very like, once in the past, we Chinese people have been called East Asia sick men. Yeah.
East Asian sick men.
Yes, sick men, like you're weak because like a tofu, you can't, you're soft. You are soft. Yeah, I infringe you, but isn't it in the Western way? If I was being infringed or challenged, I pay it back with challenge. But is that, hey, someone challenge? Yeah, better, twice better. But why is it someone challenged me? I shouldn't pay it back. Doesn't it feel like for soft? Don't you feel like for soft, like?
Me personally, I actually see strength in that. I
Okay.
don't see weakness for softness that I used to,
Okay.
but not anymore.
Okay.
Because I think it takes a lot of strength. Like if you attack me, it takes a lot of strength actually.
Yeah.
To not to kind of resolve that conflict within me. So it's kind of a.
That is great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, one thing that people comment on all the time is, and I was raised a Christian, is that there are conflicts and contradictions between some of Jesus's advice. And what I was taught is that you need to look at the context, and you need to look at the historical context as to why he said what he did. And because very often what he would say would be an antidote to what was going on. For example, an eye for an eye. At the time, what was happening was people were taking more, the emphasis is 1 for 1, equal to equal. Someone harms you, the punishment is equal. But what they were doing at the time was, instead of an eye for an eye, it would be a life for an eye.
Okay.
Extreme. So I'm wondering if that's what was, if there's some context here that explains why he said something that makes it look as though the East Asians are weak. Because another expression from Jesus was, if someone slaps one cheek, turn the other cheek. Because at the time, again, people were being so extreme that this was his antidote.
What I think is, usually if we only read it in the words, we always fall into the trap if we only read it. So this is why we can't just read a book. We can't just buy a book and read it because we always fall into the trap. There will be things that we can't move over. If you give this book, this sentence to a teenager, we are now more grown. So I see the same way. If we can resolve the conflict within our mind, this is more strength. But you can't teach it to a junior high school or senior high school kid said, hey, if you're being challenged, don't fight back. They would be like, no, this is soft. I have to fight it back. I have to fight it back until I graduate from university. Then I can feel like, okay, I won't fight it back and no more. When I get into work, then I said, okay, no more fight back. Even sometimes we still fight back. Most of the time we still fight back. But this is why we couldn't just read it from the book itself. We have to understand why is it saying that. So on one side, it is yes that we don't fight back because it takes more strength. But on the other side, this is practicing on all these. It is not only saying that I don't care or I can't care because I can't fight back. Yeah, it's not lying there. Is it? No, it's fine. It's fine. It's like, is it strength? Is it gathering the strength inside? Do you see it? You are trying to do. I am actually just acting like I don't know nothing. I know nothing. Do I practicing it? Is this not repaying? Is it a practice of these that we mentioned earlier? That okay, I'm just trying to be humble. This is why I try not to repay you. Because if I repay you, I might broke the relationship. This might impact in the future that how can I learn from you or work with you and make enemies. But the reason why I don't make enemies right now is because I still want to learn with you. You are my friends. And in this society, I want to learn with you. There are things that sometimes it's not someone trying to harm you intentionally, but in our daily life, most of the time, 80% is we're just actually doing my work, but because of certain misunderstanding, you feel like, hey, you step into my place or you violate my rights. But most of the time, it is not someone that come to challenge you. It is just by accident or by doing things. Do we see it? We are trying to practice how to be humble, how to learn from the others, or we are just lying there say, no, I don't pay back. Let's not pay back. We are not trying to be peace, but it's a weak peace. We can be peace, but with strength inside. So I like what you mentioned. That is really great. So this is what I'm trying to share. Because when I really hear, I feel like, no, I would pay back. Yeah.
I think it depends on what kind of wrong as well. Like certain wrongs you can let go. You know, it's no problem. Oh, they're having a bad day, or you know, I will choose my battles, right? And then other types of wrongs, you might not repay in the exact same way because it's not beneficial for you or anyone else. But you might find, like you're saying, a skillful way of changing the situation rather than a skillful way of getting revenge, right? But how can I avoid furthering conflict?
Right.
Yeah, because sometimes people will hear this, especially I think with Buddhism too. Is like, oh, so if someone stabs me, I should just be like, okay, you know, no, you should get away, you know. But don't try to get into a deeper battle with them, you know. So yeah, where the line is on what
exactly. So where the line is, and by just personally reading a book, if you just read it on your own, I don't think someone would figure it out by his own. It's hard because you always we learn here that every good learning you have a good teachers, good societies thing that we can talk about it, because if you're only yourself, if you can't figure out the answer, there's no one you can ask. But with a society, you can debate. You can choose. I am the side that I will pay revenge, and on the other side, hey, I am on the side that I won't pay revenge. Trying to convince each other. This is a benefit of having a society or having good friends, and this is why we form study group, that we can always figure it out. What is it? If we can't figure it out, we have teacher to ask. Hey, we think it's that way. Is it true or completely wrong? Just makes sense here, but not make sense in the real world. Yeah. So this is something I want to share here in this dialect. What is this end time of it?
6:40-ish.
40-ish.
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever your time is, about 1 hour.
No, I'm completely free tonight, so I just want to make sure that I won't stay too long overtime or something. Any question? If not, I'll brush it. All right. So I still have 5-10 minutes. I'll try to explain another one. The other dialect, I see that you already have it. Because of 5 minutes time, I'll try to save some time. Probably I can clean it later on. I can clean it later on. No. I can. Or the other. So the other one is thank you. I'll try to read it first. Confucius said, "The one know it can't compare with the one like it." The one can't compare meaning is worse than the ones who like it. The one who like it is worse than the one who enjoy it. So if we only make 3 steps, it would be
the translation is know, love, enjoy.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So this is know. This is love. This is enjoy. All right. Yeah. It's easy to understand from the writing point of view, and it makes sense. I think it makes sense. So because you enjoy it, so you do it better, and know it, of course, can't compare with the one who love it. And in this book, the explanation is also very few words because it didn't talk much. Once I heard Teacher Tang talk about this dialect for 1 hour straight and didn't end. And any other time he talked about it can be something else. So he used it completely, and okay, so we try to apply it. We know the benefits of learning Buddhism, and this can't be comparing. It's worse than the one who love Buddhism. And the one who loves Buddhism can't compare or is worse than the one who is enjoying Buddhism. But how can I enjoy it? How can I move from here to here? This is now become the questions. I know this is better, but how can I move from here to here? When we teach this course in the county side in the school, we mention to the kids, do we know the benefit of learning English or learning Chinese? Yes. But do we want to study? No. There's more of the time we don't. The reason is there's a lot of things between knowing it and loving it already here, between it. Because we have friends, we have party, we have video games, we have Netflix, we have a lot of things. So this is a lot of things in between that already blocked your love towards Buddhism or Confucianism, or even English grammar or Chinese writing. Whatever the subject you can put it inside. Usually we know something about it, but it's hard to move forward because we know it is good, but there's always a but of this one. So meaning that the important terms will become how to feel the good of it, how to really enjoy it. So this is why Teacher Tang also taught us, before you learn something or study about something, clean yourself, not just by staying calm, but by reminding yourself, hey, this is really good things. Why am I here? Usually we have Monday courses is from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I have worked for 8 hours straight. I have worked for Saturday, taking full day courses, Sunday courses, and Monday work, and then come here at the evening. Most of the time I feel like, no, I can't do it anymore. I'm dead. I'm half dead. And I have every reason to be dead because I've worked complete week and one day of work and 1 day of learning, and then now I'm here. So I have every reason to say, hey, I'm really tired, and I have every reason to be absent. But then this is the one is practicing here is how to enjoy it. Once I also asked Teacher Tang a question. I said, in the Buddhism, there's a metaphor said, hey, if you're playing the pianos, if the strings you pull it too tight, you can't make any sounds of it. But if it's too soft, you either can't make any sounds of it. So it's in medium. I said, hey, so meaning I should give myself some leisure time? Is it meaning I shouldn't push myself too hard? He said, no, this is not talking about how many time you spend on it. Instead, it's about are you enjoying in it? There are people enjoying and making money. They can work 24/7. There are basketball players like Kobe Bryant. He can wake up 4 a.m. in the morning to practice basketball because he loves it. So very important is, do you love it? And if you want to love it, remember why do you love it? And before you do some things, remember, try to remind yourself, hey, why do I really love it? Because without this one, there's a lot of things in our world. We have work, we have Netflix, we have friends, we have family times, we have fun time. I deserve some rest some days. There's a lot of things in between. So this will completely block what I have here. You can't barely see the words right now. But do I still know the goods of it? I still do, because someone explained once to me, but after 1 year of without any joyful in between, 2 years, third year you're coming back, this no is not the no already. You don't know. You once knew it, but you don't know right now. You don't see it right now. So this is about no. This no is not the right no anymore, because you forget about the joyful, you forget how you could enjoy it. So loving on something you do is important, and always have to remind yourself how to love it. And try to feel the love on your things, the things that you're doing, even you're very tired. But before doing it, before jumping into the book for another 2 hours reading, learning, give yourself 5 minutes, 10 minutes break, and remind yourself why you should do it, why you should learn it. And this might be the time that's worth it. Because if only that you pick up that feelings, you might be able to work for another 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. This is something that you can always do. Yeah. This is somehow easy sharing on this one. I'm not sure how many time I still got, but this is I think I leave some time open for any questions here, because I didn't spend as much as time on this one, but this is about the philosophies behind. Because if only reading about the text is easy to understand, even by translation, there's nothing else to explain. On your paper, it's nothing else to explain. But by the philosophy, or how to apply, how the application layer, it's a lot to discuss. There's a lot to discuss on the application layers, because we know by studying back in your senior high school time, we know how great we can be if we study hard on mathematics. But we usually say, no, I'm done with it. I'm really done with it. So these always apply in our life. I know how good that could be, but there's a fans page saying, of course, but there's always a but in somewhere in the corner. And this is important to avoid in the life. Any question is welcome, or anything you would like to discuss is welcome. Yeah. If not, I think that's we can do it for
I
the
mean, I guess if I look at it, it's a bit like you're saying, it's bringing it from an intellectual level to an emotional level. Like, I know it'd be good to study Mandarin. I can see the benefits. But
yes, that's
it is quite difficult, you know, and there are all these kinds of challenges, and there are other things that bring me more love or enjoyment that I would rather be doing.
Yes.
So how can I generate the feeling, right, for learning this particular topic?
Right.
And then that would change my relationship to it entirely.
Yeah.
It'd be much easier to absorb it, because I'm not dealing with the resistance of like the but, right? And then being distracted thinking about all these other things that I could be doing.
Yeah.
I think Teacher Tom's talked about that too in the past, about maybe I don't know if it's the same words, but like when people enjoy the Dharma, right? They don't feel tired teaching, right? It's makes you more energized.
Yes.
Actually. Yes. Like you give the example about going to work and having a very stressful week, but then it's very easy to, you know, spend 10 hours until 4 a.m. Watching Netflix, your favorite show, blah, blah, blah. Even though you spent all the whole day working because you enjoy it.
It's easy for me to spend 2 hours on Instagram scrolling over than comparing to 2 hours of learning Buddhism. Even always on your cell phone. But the content doesn't really interest you. You don't feel the love into the content. But I feel the love when I have interaction chatting with my friends. I can use the phone to chat for 2 hours. I can use the scrolling for Instagram for 2 hours. Even I scroll it for 10 times already. Every post I saw it. But I can still keep scrolling it. But on the other side, I can't stand with my phones with someone teaching Buddhism, learning, even if it's through a video for 2 hours, I can't do it. But for a 2 hours movie, I can. I'm capable of doing it. And the time just blink and it's gone. 2 hours is gone. But learning Buddhism, I will have to, 10 minutes. 5 minutes pass. 15 minutes. I think I'm done for the day. Usually this is what it is. But so I think the application layer on this context is really fascinating for me because we have always goal in our life. But without the emotional, there's none of the goal that we can complete. We always have to find why do we like it. And there are things that are attracting us, like video games, like friendship, like party. This is something attracting us. But is it the things that we want to is attracting us? The goal I set? It doesn't have to be Confucianism or Buddhism. Probably is earning money. Does earning money really fascinate me? Do I really want to earn a lot of money? Well, this is for Asians, so. But I mean, is it your personal goal really fascinating you, really attracting to you, that you feel the love of it? And so these two dialects is sharing the base of acquiring all these mindset. Later on we'll talk about a lot of mindset. So in the structure, we first talk about the condition, 14 conditions that you should gather, and then with all these conditions, you can acquire different kind of mindset. So this is the structure that we teach how we learn how to learn, and this is only the two of the factors, two reasons or two let's call it factors. Two factors that we should gather before we start learning it. And it is already so powerful that we can use it in our daily life. We can learn from the other people. We can learn from our senior members. We can learn from our daily life on all these. So this is important to gather all these factors. And I think that's what please.
Yeah, I think on the know, love, and joy part of this, I think that having the teacher again is a very important piece of it. Because part of why people can get from love to enjoy is because they're experiencing, when they're working on their own, they're experiencing a lot of frustration.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine is a concert harpist, and he also teaches. And so many of the students come to him, and what they do is they start at the beginning of the piece and they play it over and over, beginning to end, over and over.
Yeah.
And they're frustrated because they know it just doesn't work right.
Yeah.
So what he does is he teaches them how to practice smart, so that they can succeed in getting the whole piece together.
Yeah.
And again, and whether it's your peers listening to you or helping you, or a teacher working alone, it's just about impossible to learn the harp alone.
Exactly.
But with a teacher, with the class.
In schools, usually teacher teaches us how to know things. Teach us about, hey, mathematics 1 + 1 is 2, this kind of things. But after the kind of school life, there are things that we want to learn it, or we might be able to get the teacher to teach us, hey, you should enjoy it, because only that he demonstrates that the good side, and you really benefited by the good side, and you love it, then you start moving forward. Or else it's always staying here. You teach grammar, you teach mathematics, you teach philosophy, you teach history. History doesn't fascinate me because you didn't mention about the characters, the different emotional scenes, and how unbelievable that could be. So no one doesn't like. People hate history now because it's just some dummy. It's just past. Now we are at 2025. It's AI. It's technology. We forget about histories, but they can't share about the benefit of it. In our school, there's no teacher can teach the dialects of Confucius in such a fascinating way like Teacher Tang did it, because he can really demonstrate, hey, this is useful, this is interesting, and you feel the interest. When you are interested, you can start joining it, or else it becomes someone said it 2,500 years ago. There's a meme on internet said, if an apple fall on Newton's head, this is the thickness of the physics books. If it is the durian, this is the thick of the physics books. Meaning if he died, we don't have to learn physics. Meaning they're not really trying to feel the interesting part of it. But if you have someone teach you, hey, this is what interesting. There are very fascinating teachers teaching chemistry in the lab or physics in different way. This is funny that you might learn it and you feel like, oh, I want to learn more. That is how you start moving forward. And this is important to gather in the poem. Yeah. If not, then I think that's pretty much for the day. Thank you so much for learning. Thank you.